Hello and welcome to my Juggernaut jungling guide. Today I'll show you how to get level 6 in 5 minutes flat, which I think is a pretty good level 6 timing. I was surprised actually that Juggernaut is capable of getting such a fast level 6 in the jungle. My fastest run is level 6 at 440 without taking the Bounty Rune, and this can be done faster because I went for a freaking bracer because I was like toying with the idea that I can make the bracer into drums later or something. And yet, even with a bracer that doesn't do that much for you, it was still level 6 at 440, which is a really good level 6 timing. You can check that out by clicking here. So I'm gonna show you now how to get the fast level 6, and then I'm gonna show you some clips from a pub game where I also jungle the Juggernaut. So to begin with, you do the choke point jungling, you cut down this one tree here, and then you force the creeps into a bottleneck so only one of the creeps can hit you at a time. Then if you haven't killed the entire camp by the 1 minute mark, you should pull the last creep at 58 in this direction, allowing the medium camp to spawn new creeps. The jungling Juggernaut has been around forever, it's not a new thing, it's not something I thought of myself or anything like that. Not this time. This is more like my take on how I would do it, how I would get the fastest level 6 possible and still uphold a decent HP throughout the jungling. And I think this is pretty strong, it deserves some attention for sure, especially after the Iron Talon has been added to the game. As you can see, I skill Blade Dancer level 1 and I start with a Quilling Blade and a Stout Shield and Tangos. Then as soon as I have the money, I make the courier bring me a Ring of Protection and the recipe for IT. So by the time I begin to deal with this hard camp here, I will have the IT ready. You should skill Healing Ward on level 2, so you also have that when you're dealing with the hard camp. The Wild Wing here or the Hellbears are the camps that does the most damage to you, but as you can see I can deal with it fairly easy with the IT and the Healing Ward. With Juggernaut you really have to take into account the creeps you've been given and just make the best of the situation you're in. So for example, if you have Wild Wings or Hellbears in the hard camp, or if you constantly run into Centaurs in the medium camp, then you have to adjust immediately and bring up more Tangos, or even a Salve is fine if you need it. Get your Poorman Shield or even that extra value Ring of Protection or an Ironwood branch so you can eat that later, whatever you have money for. Or even if you mess up, you meet nothing but freaking Centaurs in the medium camp, you almost die to creeps, the couriers in use. Then you also have the option to just buy a TP plus whatever else you have money for, and then suicide to the creeps, and then TP back to the jungle or TP out to gank. It's just very important, whatever you do, that you uphold your HP in the jungle as much as possible so you're not such an easy gank. This is the one weakness and the one big challenge of jungling Juggernaut. It is not as easy as it looks to uphold your HP. Juggernaut is not very good at tanking the creeps. So in this replay I'll get my level 6 at the 5 minute mark, and this is a pretty average level 6 timing for a Juggernaut in the jungle if you're left alone. And this is a pretty fast level 6 compared to a lot of the other junglers. Sometimes you can even get your level 6 in less than 5 minutes. And it's really good that Juggernaut can get such a fast level 6 considering how good Omnislash is when you're ganking in the early game. Even more important than my level 6 timing I think is that I in this replay uphold my HP decently. I have a Mango, I put a level in Blade Fury. So if this had been a real game I would have been able to just pop my Mango, use my Blade Fury to escape ganks. I have my Boots of Speed ready by the time I hit level 6, which is what you want obviously so you can go ganking. If you want to gank sooner than level 6 you can get your Boots of Speed right away instead of the Basilius, and then you should put 1, 2 or even 3 levels in Blade Fury, because this is the skill you will be ganking with. The roaming support position 4 Juggernaut has been experimented with earlier in the pro scene, mostly because the healing ward is so amazing in push strats, and also the level 1 Blade Fury might be able to get you some kills around the map if you're roaming. If you could get some early ganks off and help your lanes it would be great, it's definitely an option you should keep in mind. Getting boots and Blade Fury is good for ganking, but it's not really good for jungling, so if you want to get a fast level 6 then you should go for the Basilius or upgrade your Stout Shield into Poorman Shield, both works. In terms of the item later on, here's a little bit of inspiration, builds that I've seen pro players do recently in this patch, 6.86. It seems like the old face boots, Mask of Madness, Sanction Yasha or Skadi build up has been falling a little bit out of fashion. Mostly these days I see brown boots Aquila into drums and then you go for either Travels, a Battle Fury, Yasha or Shadowblade. If you don't go for drums then you should definitely compensate and get more stats, you need stats for HP and mana, but these days everybody's getting drums on Juggernaut, it's really good, you get those stats you so desperately need. And also, there's this added bonus that just like the Mask of Madness, you can just pop it right before you use your Omnislash and then you get increased damage because of the attack speed buff. It's good for chasing as well. And if you do go for the drums, then you can still pick up some levels and stats. Stats on Juggernaut is good. Really, it just all depends on how you like to build your Juggernaut. If you like the early drums, you could potentially get Bracer instead of the Basilius when you're jungling. It works, but I'm still a bigger fan of getting the Aquila first and then drums. The fact that you have Blade Fury to escape ganks plus the healing ward to scout for incoming ganks means that Juggernaut is actually not such an easy target to gank. Just communicate with the team and pay attention to the minimap to see if the enemy supports are missing. This was the game where I decided that it is in fact better to get IT when you're jungling Juggernaut, because as you can see I get my level 6 a bit late, even though I was pretty much left alone in the jungle. And to be honest, the fast level 6 is what I'm aiming for when I jungle Juggernaut. Like I said before, it is really hard to gank early because that requires boots of speed and levels in Blade Fury, and getting this will set you back a little bit when you're jungling. So if you see a really clear opportunity to go for a gank, then go for it. Otherwise I would mostly just try to get my level 6 as fast as possible and then go gank. And with Juggernaut jungle, it's pretty much like a Doom for those of you who have tried to jungle Doom. It's basically get your level 6, get a kill with your ulti, and then go back to farming. It goes without saying that you should always have that one level in Blade Fury to get that 5-second spell immunity. As long as you have your Blade Fury ready, you just simply cannot die.
Not possible.
Alright, maybe that's not entirely true, but you know what I mean, it's a pretty good skill. Anyway, so with the jungling Juggernaut you usually have another position 1 farming hero, so often you can get to be this space making ganking type of Juggernaut. So stuff like Shadowblade is definitely good. Whenever I gank with Juggernaut, I always try to identify what stuff can cancel my TP if I go for this Blade Fury TP. In this game there is Chrono, there's Swap, there's Pudge, Hook, Dismember. So I look at the minimap, Pudge is yellow, he's on the bot lane, Void is blue, he's on the top lane, and Vengeful here is the lady that I'm trying to kill. Actually, normally I do prefer to have the little hero icons on the minimap so I don't have to like remember colors and stuff. So, I calculate my mana, I have almost 400 mana and no stick, Omnislash and Blade Fury TP out is 395, so I'm like, alright, I'm fucking gonna do this. And then in a second you'll see a random Viper appearing around the corner. I didn't know he was there, he didn't know I was there. But the point is, if this Vengeful Spirit had reacted a little faster to the situation, she could have just backed off to these creeps here instead of trying to kill me. Because as you can see here, I just dodged the stun with my Omnislash and kill it. And then I can Blade Fury TP back to base. Lol. I'm not sure if that Sunstrike could have killed me there. That's also pure damage actually. And now when I think about it, I think the Vengeful even had the swap ready. Why didn't she just swap the Viper to share the damage? I might have been a bit lucky in this situation, but you know, a kill is a kill, and even if I had traded my life for it, it will still be space creative for the Chaos Knight. Remember to put down the healing ward before your Blade Fury, because in the chaos of a team fight then there might be just too much going on in the screen so people can't really target the healing ward. And then all of a sudden the healing ward has done so much work and it just wins you the fight. Alright, in this case I guess it was more like the Wind Ranger Shackle that won us the fight, plus the fact that they so heavily committed to kill our CK. But again, be careful of your low mana pool. If you end up not having enough mana for Omnislash, then you will look a bit silly. Like I said, normally you would go for drums, but in this game I just went for the old school Sanction Yasha Skadi build. Normally I would go for Mask of Madness to go with this build, but in this game I just wanted to tank up so I could survive the Void Invoker combo. So I just went for one level of Blade Fury, then stats, then I put levels into the healing ward as we were beginning to push down towers. Sanction Yasha Skadi like this is a bit too passive in my opinion, it doesn't do enough damage. But in this game I wasn't really the carry. My only job this game was to create space, then survive the wombo combo, and then as we were beginning to push, just put down a healing ward and then just sit back, grab some popcorn, and just watch while the CK Illusions and the Panda's Bed were just destroying everything. That was my only job, so I was more like a pusher and a space maker in this game, and not really a carry. This was a solo ranked 5k something average MMR all pick game, and I would definitely recommend this Juggernaut jungling. And if you're running a pushing strat in a captain's mode game, then try it out. And it's super fun and it can be really good if you play it right. Thank you all so much for watching, please like, subscribe and write your thoughts in the comments below. And if you do have the time to share this video on Facebook, I'd really appreciate it. See you guys.
Double damage.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.